Hey everybody, Barney Black here. I've got MS and it doesn't have me, and a little bit of something different for this video. And it's not about me, it's actually a colleague of mine who's going to tell us a few things about his mum who's got MS. Right then, everybody, Barney Black here, and I've got a special guest, Adam Gipke, one of my colleagues, and we just thought we'd have a chat about MS and what it's like actually living with someone, a close family member, Adam's mum, who's got MS. And Adam has kindly offered to share some of his time and tell us a few things about what that is, and that from an experience point of view, and how he deals with it, and maybe some advice. So we're going to cut straight into it. And I guess, hi Adam, how are you doing, mate?
You're right there. How are you doing? Fine.
You good, man? Yeah, I'm very good. So how is your mum just now?
Yeah, really good. I think she likes the independence aspects at the moment. She's a lot more adventurous than when she first had the diagnosis of MS.
Okay.
She still has good and bad days.
Yeah.
So the bad days tend to be where potentially she has it more of like a relapse effects. But where she has good days, she feels like no different really, apart from the fact that maybe she feels a little bit more tired than usual. But that's it. So
Right, okay.
yeah, it's a combination of what I'd like to think that she inspires me in terms of her determination as well. She hasn't let it get to her, and that's the main thing that I'd say about my mum, is that she hasn't really let it get to her.
Right, that's good news. Yeah, because the tiredness, I understand that fatigue can be a real, just ruins your day. It can really just any plans you've got, you have to park them. So when did you first find out that your mum had MS?
Well, we knew she was struggling because you could see it from the symptoms of like balance, for example. I think the first initially when I was about 13 at the time, and it was just more of a case that she was feeling really tired, and it was all day had gone. Back in that time period as well, doctors didn't really recognise MS as much as they do now. So it was only through a specialist referral that it got to that diagnosis point. So again, going back into it, when I first became aware of it, I suppose when my mum had that conversation of, this is MS, this is what it is, and what it looks like, I suppose didn't really appreciate it as much, because she was telling me what the worst case scenario could be, and I didn't think of that. I didn't want to think about that because I just saw her as my mum, and we just had a title for it, and that was all it was. So at that point, I didn't want to think too much about it. It was only, I suppose, once I started to see that she couldn't work anymore, for example, she had to have a walking aid, where we had a house adapted, for example, at a family home.
Right,
That's
okay.
started to get a bit more real, I suppose. And you know what? At that period of time, I tried to block it out as much as I could, because I didn't see it as being anything different. But certainly, I suppose, growing up, it was one of those that maybe I should have really taken more seriously at the time.
It's difficult though, looking back in hindsight, isn't it? No, those are the things that you reflect on with the knowledge that you've got now. You talked about some of the changes there. Was there any other changes that you can think of that really made a positive difference in how your mum was able to deal with things?
Yeah, I mean, obviously MS is like one of those that you don't want it to get you down. Certainly, I know there was periods where my mum was feeling it, but where it's been positive is where she's become a bit more social, for example, going out and seeing other people who suffer from it. I mean, the fact that last year she decided to take up the scheme with a car, where she's got now the facility at the back where she can have wheelchair dumped on the floor. I mean, that was a very simple thing, like we take for granted, but for my mum that was a really big thing, cultural shift for her, because beforehand she was reluctant to drive because of her condition. So it's taken the best part of maybe 2.5 years getting her back confident to actually drive, and she's now got a car that's adapted to her. So that's massive for her. And I mean, like things like we take for granted, but her, she's not really technical minded. She's decided to sign up to a computer course. I mean, I wouldn't have expected that from my mum. And that's a massive thing for my mum to do with MS. And I think it's through things like MS where she's experiencing and collaborating with other SAFRAs and getting support and guidance that's really helped her.
That's brilliant. Something that popped into my head was thinking about you and wondering how do you cope? What do you do to kind of deal with some of the difficulties that you might go through emotionally?
I mean, it's a very difficult one, especially I suppose our circumstances. My dad passed away a few years ago, so it's been very much like I've been that sole male figure in the household. But I suppose as a family, there's three of us: my sister, my mum, and me. We kind of have family time out as well, so we get together as much as we can, even though my sister is also having her independent life as well. And we just try and just have days together, and I think that's really nice. I mean, especially my mum's got now my son to look forward to in terms of visits, so she's really pleased and happy to have someone to look forward to coming around and calling her grandma. And it's those sort of things, I suppose, that we didn't really tend to do a lot of at the beginning stages, but we've now spent more time together as a family, and that's something you can't, you take for granted sometimes, but that's what you need to do.
Yeah, be close to the family, value that time, man, because it's definitely really, really important. I'm a little bit older than you, and I can emphasize the family time is really important. In hindsight, what if you were to be able to give anybody in a similar situation as yourself, or even if you're able to speak to yourself back in the day, what advice would you give folk?
So the first bit of advice I'd probably say is try and have a better understanding of what MS is. So you might get told these are the effects and everything, but actually there's a lot of material out there that you can reach out to. Even through MS, they provide support for families as well. So go to your MS centre, for example. Don't just be at home looking on the internet, for example. I think the biggest thing that I'd say is MS doesn't change the person. So really, your mum, your friend, your family, whoever they are, they're still that person. It's just they've been diagnosed with MS, and that doesn't change them in any way whatsoever. So it's just being there. And I think the biggest thing that I found is always have a conversation with that loved one and say, how are you? So even just simple everyday calls saying, how are you? That's the difference in terms of making them feel a bit more valued and a bit more loved. I mean, even my mum thanks me for the fact that I just call her just to see how she is. That's for me, that means a lot to me, but it's simple words and it makes her feel better as well.
That's brilliant. That's really touching as well. Thanks for that. We could probably talk for ages, and I'd love to talk with your mum as well. But thank you for taking the time, mate. It's been really valuable, really interesting as well, listening to you. So if you would give your mum my best, and have a great day, man. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Adam. Take care, man. Bye. So there you have it. Thanks, Adam, for sharing your insight. And I know that you'll have given people food for thought if they know someone that's got MS, either a family member or a friend. Reach out. There's plenty of information available through Shift MS, the MS Society, the MS Trust. There's loads of local groups, I'm sure, in and around you. If you know someone that's got MS, find out, do they manage to get along? Can you offer them any support? Can you find out a bit more to understand what MS is and what it actually means? Remember, from the outside, you might not be able to see anything obviously going on. Inside, there's loads going on. So that's it. Thanks again, Adam. I'm Barney Black. I've got MS, and it doesn't have me. Be cool.